Welcome to the Village Vision podcast, where community, collaboration, and care converge. I'm Dr. Crystal Morrison, and I'm honored to be your host on this incredible journey. As a firm believer in the power of a united village, I'm thrilled to bring you inspiring stories, research, and projects that break down the barriers in child and family care. Through heartfelt conversations with experts, advocates, and those with lived experiences, we'll showcase the transformative impact of collective support. So join me on the Village Vision podcast as we explore the remarkable collaborations that lead to better outcomes, foster a sense of community, and inspire action to improve care for ourselves and everyone around us. On today's episode, I'm here with Ian Westmoreland. Ian is from Sydney, Australia, and is the founder of Mentoring Men and Kintsugi Heroes. Ian is a husband of 40 plus years, father to 4 children, and grandfather to 12 children. Welcome, Ian.
Thanks, Crystal. It's great to be here.
Wonderful.
I call what we do life mentoring. It's predominantly listening, supporting, caring. People aren't broken. They don't need fixing. They just need validating, want to be softer. They need just to be shown some love. So I looked around for the nearest organisation that provided life mentoring to men and was surprised and incredibly disappointed to find there really wasn't anything suitable. When the trust develops, we start to open up, and you'll hear, Ian, I've never told anyone this before, but, or you know more about me than the mates I've had for 20 or 30 years. Now, Crystal, I might pause there because I'll keep going. So that was I guess, the why that led up to mentoring men. So let me pause at that point.
Yeah, I know that's great, because I know that, now that you've really grown mentoring men and you've handed over the reins a bit, you've got lots of other things that you're doing that is really, you're really continuing this spirit of compassion and sharing stories and giving people hope through stories. And so this is a nice transition into what you're doing today with Kintsugi Heroes, I think. And so just, for our listeners, Kintsugi Heroes is a platform that allows people to share their real life stories about overcoming adversity, so that they can really provide hope and inspiration to other people who might be experiencing similar, experiences, or potentially could experience those challenges.
What we do, we have a relaxed conversation like this. Not with me, because I talk too much, but I've got a professional host like you. It's recorded, it gets edited, and we publish it as a video and audio podcast. I've engaged a retired author in New Zealand who takes a transcript of the conversation, and she condenses them down into stories. Our first 2 books are underway. And forming some other relationships, our stories are now going to be broadcast around Australia on community radio stations. It sounds high, but they're saying there's about 6 million people listen to community radio in Australia.
Fantastic.
So I don't know where this is going. I'm learning as it evolves, but it's an exciting time, and I love the feedback we get.
So Ian, over the past couple of years with Kintsugi Heroes, how have you seen that community evolve?
Great question, and it's been a huge learning curve for me. So on the plus side, in fact, how we connected, there's this amazing community of people who've been through adversity, and their primary purpose in life is to help others, and they just passionately want to share their story. You put up a request and you'd be bombarded with, let me tell. And most of the funding so far for Kintsugi Heroes has come from my wife and I, but we got a grant to capture stories of people impacted by the horrendous Black Summer bushfires in the Alpine area of Victoria. So these are massive fires. In fact, there's satellite photos showing the extent of them throughout Australia. This is in 2019-20. And so I've been down there many times, and you wouldn't believe how hard it is for many people to open up, particularly men. So these are,
well, so much of what you're doing is just absolutely amazing and important. And again, the thing that strikes me as being so important as part of this is reframing the listener's perspective, hopefully taking people from this place of intense bias and judgment about, someone's circumstances and really shifting their mindset. So not only, giving people hope that are experiencing challenging circumstances, but people who are listeners, viewers, who may be locked into a very narrow view of the world and really need to open up their mind and address their own biases about other challenges. And now, with the amazing work you've done and the different lens that you see the world through, what would you tell that teenage Ian about what do you wish teenage Ian knew that you know now?
That's a fantastic question. And
I put you on the spot.
No, it's brilliant. And I wish if only the current version of Ian was there with that young version of Ian.
Sure.
The first thing, it's going to be okay. That's the first message. It's going to be okay. And it would be a positive word and encouragement. Unfortunately, negative seems to get a much higher profile than positivity. It's interesting, the way we talk to ourselves, sometimes we would never talk to anyone else that way.
That's so true.
And so what I would say, this is going to sound egotistical. You're going to be okay. You've got huge potential. You're going to achieve some really great things in your life. You're going to leave a legacy, and probably some other stuff. Maybe change some priorities about where I put things, and maybe some of the dumb decisions that I made as a teenager. Because of lack of confidence, because of peer group pressure. So there'd probably be some stuff like that. But it would have been life-changing. I would have been so much happier to have had that story. So to have that opportunity, if only. Yeah.
I just want to thank you so much for joining us today on the Village Vision podcast. I'm so grateful that you shared your story and experience with our listeners. For those of you who are listening, please check out Kintsugi Heroes. The stories are fantastic. I know that Ian is based in Australia. Kintsugi Heroes is in Australia. It's going to be more widely shared very soon, but I really encourage you to check it out because the stories resonate anywhere in the world. It's incredibly powerful. So thanks again, Ian.
Crystal, thank you so much, and I love what you're doing. So I wish you all the best, and with this fantastic enterprise.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again, Ian, and thank you to all of you for joining us today on this episode of the Village Vision podcast. I hope that you found inspiration and valuable insights from our conversation today. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, leave a review, share all the things. But thank you for being a part of the Village Vision podcast. Take care, and let's keep shining a light on the power of community, collaboration, and care.